Welcome back to the Davy Brown 990 Restoration. For those of you new, my name's Barry. Right, what have we been getting up to lately? Well, the last time when we saw you, we were busy underneath the tractor, weren't we? Putting bits and pieces into block holes. We're going to take a walk in a minute and I'll show you. We had a slight delay. The reason for the delay was the filter bowl housing. If you remember from the last shots, underneath the tractor, filter bowl housing was on, secured, beautifully painted. Job's a good one, wasn't it? Well, during the cleaning process, I obviously didn't inspect the filter bowl very well. And let's face it, you wouldn't really expect to need to inspect your filter bowl very well, would you? So we got underneath the tractor, all sealed up, started putting oil in. 2 litres went into the PTO straight through the top, no problem whatsoever. The next day I put 3 more litres of oil in and it started leaking straight away from the filter bowl. So quickly went round, nipped the bolts because they were just nipped, they're just small bolts, they don't need to be extremely tight. So I went round, nipped the small bolt, I think the 1/2 inch AF, went round, nipped all them up just to make sure that it wasn't something silly like it was passing the gasket. Still kept leaking, and it was leaking down a bolt that if you line under the tractor and the front's there and the back's here, it would be about 7:30 position. It's the second bolt back to the rear of the tractor from the drain bung. So drain the oil back out. There was only 3 litres to come out at that point because obviously the other 2 would remain in because that was in the PTO and in the back axle because of all the humps and hollers. Drained the oil back out, 3 litres. Dropped the filter bowl, took the filter out, give everything a wipe, had a look. The eyelet where the bolt goes through had split away from the actual bowl on the inside, not the outside, on the inside. So consequently, when the oil level rose in the bowl, it got to that point where it could just seep straight through underneath because the gasket was sealing on the ring on the top of the bolt hole, not on the bowl itself. So, filter bowl had to go down home, braze up the little slot, tidy everything up, and then obviously because you brazed it, you ruined the paint job, so it had to get stripped, primed, and it's still in its primer. It hasn't got its gloss paint back on yet. As I say, we'll have a look in a minute. So we got all that done. Started putting the oil back in again. Again, at that point, 1 litre at a time, because I just want to make sure that we had getting it sealed, everything was sorted. 1 litre at a time per day. Then we got to, we're up now to 10 litres of oil in the gearbox. Fingers crossed, because we got to 10 yesterday. Fingers crossed there is no leaks when we go next door. We'll have a look and see what's going on. We'll see, won't we? Because the whole plan is I want to get this engine running before I put in, because we've got down here, so I've got the rocker shaft on the bench here. We're going to start the next couple of days putting that together so it's ready to be installed in the tractor once we're happy there's no leaks. That can only be installed once we've had the engine running again, because I do want to flush out all of that pipe work. As I've said previously, I know it's clean, it's had a pull through it, but since then it's been sitting in shelves and units and workbenches. I want to run that without the valve chest on the front of it, pump any crap and rubbish straight out of there, and then put the valve chest in, get it sealed up properly. Then we're going to look at putting on the quadrant and the handbrake arrangements. and then we're going to look at doing our group 3 adjustments, for which I will be visiting Shane's video again. If you haven't seen that video already, pop across Path of Discovery, Shane Bush's channel. He's got a brilliant video about the group 3 adjustments for your valve chest. Little problem that I have got, I haven't got a draft control cable yet. I might get one. Expensive though, aren't they? They're about 60, 70 quid or something. We'll have a look around, see if I can get a one, so we can get it all buttoned up and sorted out. Right, what else have we got? Brought our bonnet home. Can you see our wing? And we've got our wings over there. So we've got our wings home. As I say, these have seen better days. Big holes in all over the shop here. This is all rotted out here. Holes in the bottom. Holes in the top. I think you could nearly confidently say that's a total knacker job. This one is not much better. So you see, someone, I don't know why you would cut a hole out of there. Not unless, maybe it was the tag on the other side, manufacturer's plate. As you can see, all the edge is gone. Getting holes in here. I've stripped the support off here. The support's there. This is for the rollover frame, which I don't think I'm going to be putting back on, to be honest with you. The rollover frame's in good condition, but I don't like them. I don't think they look nice on the tractors. I might end up, because I think I need the plate to go on the wing, I might end up just cutting them off by there, or cutting the welds out altogether around here and taking this off and leaving these plates on, because I think this plate is where the big U-bolt fits in. The big U-bolt goes around the axle. I might have to cut that on an angle there and plate the top of it just to keep it clean and tidy and a bit of support on it. So, our rock shaft. We need to get into a box, find all our bits, our O-rings. Got a new cap for this end. And we're going to put the selector on with just the cam in place. We're not going to put any internals in the back of the selector, because I remember Lance did message me the last time, or he put a thing in the comments saying, if you've got your cam on and you've got your internals in, there is a big chance you're going to damage something before you get it all put together and timed up. So, pop the cam on, we'll keep things, that'll keep everything together. I have got new O-rings, I've got new clamps. The only O-ring I haven't been able to change is that one in there, in the middle, because I haven't got a press big enough to have pressed this lot all apart. It would have been nice to have done that. It would have been nice to have pressed it open, changed that O-ring, but also to have rotated the shaft 180 degrees, because there's a bit of wear on this end. And it would have been really nice to have rotated that and putting that to the top out the way, where it doesn't really matter, because the shaft's going to be sitting in the bottom of the bearings, isn't it? Oh, yes. Look what else came. We're tapered pins. And this is for the PTO gear stick. And I thought I had a tapered reamer, which I have, but it's not the right size. So I've got to order a tapered reamer for these, for the PTO gearbox lever. Arrived on the 7th. So it only took 3 days, free postage, and it took 10 days to arrive. Not bad, eh? Not bad. The pleasures of buying from China from eBay. But isn't it funny? Just for whatever reason, you can't get them in the UK at the minute. I don't know why. Or you go on eBay and the only people selling them is either America or China, and America's wanting 20, 30 quid postage. China gives you free 3-day postage that takes 10 to 14 days to actually come. And believe it or not, Cramlington, which is about 10 miles from where we are, has a company called Potter's Fastenings, who do lots like GWR on eBay, do a full range of nuts and bolts. They will not sell you 10 nuts and bolts. They want you to buy 100 of everything. So yes, I could have gone to them and bought 100 taper pins from Potter's. What am I going to do with 100 taper pins? You know what I mean? But they don't see that it's worth their while selling you small quantities. I would have thought in today's world, any business was reasonable business. Any money is good money, isn't it? Never mind. Never mind. Right. Let's have a little walk next door. I'm just looking at my compressor. I did this, had the compressor on, didn't we, for blowing the tyres up. Still holding pressure. Cracking little compressor, that for the money I paid for it. And I know I had to spend a couple of bob on it to get it put right, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, isn't it? Right, let's have a walk next door, have a look at the tractor, see what's going on there. You can see we've got what Massey Ferguson 1540 oil, which is what's going in the gearbox here. What I'm doing is I'm putting it in through here a litre at a time. Got me little jug there. And we'll be putting another litre in today. There's a nice new painted red drain bowl, or filter bowl rather, that is nipping clean now and dry. So that's good. However, what happens, what might cause another little bit of a delay, is on the wheel here, we've obviously got a drip of oil, which appears to be coming from, could be the bolt here. So I need to nip that up. I did have also under here with these weep holes, there was a little bit of oil. There was a little bit of oil coming out the weep holes off the final drives, both sides. Obviously my first thoughts for the third time were that maybe the seals weren't sealing properly on the shafts that were had turned down. But then as I thought back about how we did these, and we heated them up in oil, didn't we? And I gave them a quick wipe to take the mega surplus off. And I think what's happened is, with them standing up, they've literally just drained off, dropped into the bottom, because I wiped these the other day and there's nothing more come out of them since. As I say, this drip mark is under the drain bung for this final drive, not the weep hole. And there's nothing on the concrete other than under the weep holes. So we're going to give it another couple of days. I'm going to put another 2 litres of oil in today. Then we're going to give it another couple of days to settle. The reason why I'm only putting a little bit of oil in at a time is if there's a leak, all you need to drain out is what you've put in the last 24 hours. You don't have to drain the whole lot, depending upon where your leak is, isn't it? So fingers crossed, it hasn't got any leaks at the minute, and we're getting well up there. Use me little funnel from Gemma. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that in the back of there. I'm going to shape it in so the oil, because the oil is going to come squirting out of these holes in here. I think that's the delivery tube, and that's the return for the lubrication system. Isn't it? I think it is. Anyway, So the oil's going to come squaring out of here, and I don't want it firing straight out the back because it's going to come out of here, hopefully, at about 2000 psi. So I want something on here, which is where that little funnel is going to come in, to come bring it in over the top of here, so it blows the oil down into the bottom out the way. I only want to run it 5 minutes. Flush out all of the pipe work in there, make sure it's clean. Then we'll get the valve chest and everything else assembled, pop it in, get all this buttoned up and fastened up safe. Another little thing we looked at, I'm sure it was Rob, maybe Terry, but it might have been Rob as well, I'm not sure. Sorry guys, it's one of yous, which said, and it made a lot of sense, these two pins should line up. And it makes sense because if they're in line, then the triangle that they form with the lift arm and the stabilizer will allow this end of the lift arm to come straight up. If the outer line, the lift arms will curve in and probably jam as they come up. So they are not in line. Okay, they're not. Let's get rid of your light. I'm in your light again, aren't I? They're not that far out. But I remember Terry was saying the pin should have been in the center of that plate. And if it was in the center, then that would match beautifully with that pin. So I think they are 880 plate and not a 990 plate. So we need to have a look around. Also got in the comments about the 5/8 and ½ inch in here, and it's in here these three, and it's probably true because I think, remember, these had a broken tap in it, and I've got a feeling what's happened is they've damaged these. These are all 5/8 on that side. These are two 5/8 and ½ inch, and I'm looking now. I think what's happened is they have damaged these holes and they've drilled them out and tapped them and snapped the taps in. They probably had a tap in using it with an adjustable, and that's because they were probably all 1/2 inch to start with. Right, tell you what, let's pop that back in there for getting drips on my floor. Let's have a quick look up there, see if there's anything on the dipstick yet, eh? Because you know how it settles, doesn't it? Once you give it an hour or so and then everything levels out. Let's have a quick look. No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Right, having said that, there's no coming out of it, so tell you what, let's have a litre, another litre put in, will we? Because I like to pop this in and just hang about for 10 minutes, just like that filter bowl, because you just want to make sure there is nothing obvious, and hopefully then we'll be, if it's obvious, we'll deal with it straight away. That's another litre put in. We'll leave it again 24 hours. I know it takes time, but let's face it, time we've got loads of, haven't we? Time we've got loads of. We need to get a reamer, don't we, for that handle. Let's nip next door again and have a look at that bonnet, see what state the bonnet's in, eh? Right, let's have a look at the condition of our bonnet, which is not bad, but not good either. Let's have a quick look at it. So we've got here, we've got holes. That's fairly thick material there. It's not totally rotted out. A couple of holes where there must have been headlights or extra spotlights put in initially. the front end here really not, I've seen a lot worse. I've seen a hell of a lot worse. Got a bit of a dent in here. And I know you can buy new nose cones here. It's whether or not it's worth taking it to bits and actually putting right, or whether we just try and source a replacement. What do you guys think? What do you think about this? See these holes here? What do you think about that? Obviously holes here where the lights have been, that's okay. We've got a bit of rot. We've got some space. That was stuck. We've got a bit of rot going on here. But again, that's good metal side to side there, so that could be cut out and repaired. I'm just wondering whether I've got these skills and ability to do that. I've never done sheet metal work like that. Your radiator cap, isn't it? Your radiator, air filter, exhaust, fuel. Somebody's very kindly put a nice piece of speedy angle across the bottom to keep that straight. There's a box missing, isn't there, off the front of here? There should be a box that comes down and wraps around the tombstone. I was thinking for these, the dents in here, buying one of them kits with the metal keys in that you spot weld into position, and then you put a bar through the top and you jack this back out. It'll obviously need a bit of heat, because with all the folds and the creases in there, that will need a bit of heat to pop that out. But I've seen them crushed right the way back. I think the farmers used to use them for opening gates, didn't they? They just used to push their way through gates and shed doors and stuff like that with them. So in terms of conditions, it's not really that bad, is it? Right, guys, that's it for this week. We'll keep putting oil in there till we'll get it up to level on the dipstick. Once we get it up to level, we'll get the engine fired up. I will video that. Then we'll get the rock shaft sorted out, and the next job will be putting that valve chest back in, won't it? Right, guys, as I say, thanks very much for visiting. As always, your time is greatly appreciated when you come visiting us. And I know we haven't been doing a lot lately, but the weather has just been absolute crap up here. If it hasn't been blowing a gale, it's been pouring a rain. And if it hasn't been doing that, it's been freezing bloody cold. Really freezing cold. Today, probably an exception. I've had to turn you away from the window because that's south facing. And we've got a net curtain on it to try and diffuse the light coming through it. Because it just gives you such harsh light in here. Even though it's such a big window, it gives you harsh light. And today probably it's a bit cloudy, but it's lovely blue skies in between the cloud. There's a bit of a breeze blowing, and it's not bad as long as you keep moving. So I wish Lance would box some of that heat up that he's got down there and send it up here, because I tell you what, we could do with some. And I know my granny used to say, never wish your life away. But I wish the summer was here. I wish the summer was here so we could get some jobs done outside again, get some big painting jobs done, and get caught up with things. Right, as I say, that's it for this week. Thanks very much, guys. Remember, don't overthink it. It's only nuts and bolts. Catch us in the next one. Ta-ra now.